And that's why I don't like the term serial entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
It's permission to be messy.
Right.
Well,
Well,
she's running like 5 businesses. She ain't doing
right.
it. Not doing it
Right.
right. And so, we talk about wealth, and we talked about this at our seminars and the whole 7 streams of income. And people have taken that to mean 7 businesses. And that's what you see a
Right.
lot of people when they're trying to start 7 things so they can. Seven
Mm-hmm.
streams of income does not mean 7 businesses. Non-profitability, my consulting firm itself has 7 streams of income. Because I want that one thing to be able to make me a millionaire.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking with my sis Shantell, who is a mom, a wife, holding down a career, as well as having multiple businesses. So you don't want to miss this. Let's go. So what's up, guys? I'm here with my sis, Dr. Shantell Chambliss, and today we're going to have a little conversation around entrepreneurship, nonprofit, and just the evolution of, Black women in business in particular. And so I met you like when we were doing a speaking engagement. It was me, you, Vincent, and it was Aisha Gaptooth Deaver. It was a long time ago.
Oh my goodness. Is that where we really met? That was like,
Yeah,
it came up in my Facebook memories not too long ago.
right. We owe, right?
Oh my goodness.
So I remember when we met, we instantly clicked, like minds, entrepreneur in your own right, doing amazing things, not just here, but abroad, right? Like I tease you, you're famous, but it's a real thing. Your name is known. But hey, just give the people a little bit about yourself. Tell them what you do.
Okay, so that's a loaded question, right? When
Because
you
it's a lot, right?
Right, I hesitate to use terms like serial entrepreneur. I'm just
Right,
kind of a multifaceted entrepreneur, right? Primarily, I run a consultancy that focuses on nonprofits. Nonprofitability is the name of my firm. Our primary focus is helping nonprofits get started, get to scale, and to be sustainable. Right. Um, we do that in a myriad of ways through legal formation, consulting, strategic planning, fractional director services. And then I also am a nonprofit leader myself. In 2012, I founded Dress for Success Central Virginia, which is an affiliate of the international nonprofit Dress for Success, located right here in Central Virginia. We help women gain access to employment by providing professional attire, career mentorship, job support tools, entrepreneurship training, GED prep. We do a lot of things to help women kind of overcome any obstacles to not only employment, but just economic independence, making sure that women can stand on their own 2 feet and be successful. I'm also a professor at Virginia Commonwealth University, VBCU, and I teach organizational communication in the School of Business. I am teaching our future entrepreneurs how to communicate effectively. Um, what else do I do? I'm also a wife, a mom, a daughter, a sister, which that's like 3 jobs by itself.
Woo!
So yeah, lots and lots of things going on.
And so, are you still running the women's investment group as well?
No, we actually shut down She Invest last fall.
Okay,
And not because it wasn't wildly successful, it became so much to manage.
I can imagine.
It became a lot to manage, but I will say this: I founded She Invest in 2016, and for over 6 years, myself and up to one point, we were up to 50 members by the time we shut down. Collectively invested small amounts of money to build a pretty impressive portfolio of stocks. Every single woman that came through She Invest cashed out nicely.
Nicely, right,
Last
right.
August, well, I ain't gonna put my sister's money, their pocketbooks out there. We all cashed out nicely last August. And like I said, not because it wasn't successful, it was because it really became so hard to manage that it was no longer effective and efficient. We were still making money, but just kind of our pace began to slow down because there was so many of us and so
Mhm.
many parts. And we just wanted what was best for our financial situation. Some of the members have went and started smaller groups, and then they're still investing together. I know myself, I'm still investing. So I think it was a catalyst for something really amazing with women and investing in stocks.
Man, no, it is amazing. I remember like because we have a lot of history together. So I remember speaking with your group and how excited some of them were just like when we were talking about like stocks and crypto stuff. I
Mhm.
also remember when we did because you also used to help me with when we used to do like the financial like events like we did at the libraries where people could come for free and they
Yep.
get to learn. It was like me, you, and Shauna, and they got like three different perspectives around investing, credit, nonprofit. You did some on family wealth once.
Mhm.
So no, it's definitely beneficial. Because now the in women's investment group, like you're talking about, it's supposed to work like that. It's not
Yep.
supposed to last forever. When you do investment groups, you're supposed to do it. Like even Warren Buffett, when he started, he did it, for a while, and people built money, and then because you don't want to be going in and out, and
Right.
so at the end, people able to take their money, do what they need to do, keep investing, etc., start business. So that's no, that's pretty awesome that you did that.
It's a safe way to learn, right?
Right.
It's a safe way for our members to learn the basics of stock trading, earn
Hmm.
some money, and then they can go off and make some more money,
Make some
right? That
more.
was what
Right. Right.
a safe way to learn. Instead of taking thousands of dollars, collectively we invested about $1,200 to $1,500 a month. So you got to experience what a $1,500 a month investment looked like, but you were only losing or gaining $25, right? It was a
That's
safe way.
powerful.
Yeah, it was a safe way to learn, and then you were able to cash out and go make big money moves.
Right. So you didn't just make money from the power of your money. You made money from the power of the group. fifteen
Absolutely.
hundred dollars a month being invested, that's not something to sneeze at.
No.
$100 invested every single month, $200 invested every single month is a lot. Can do a lot. So
Right.
1,500, that power over what 5 6 years, like that's a lot. That's huge, man.
It's at 20, and then our members were only investing $25 a month. And 5 years later, some of these women walked away with, most of the women walked away with four-figure checks for
Right.
$25 a
For
month.
$25 a month, right?
That's how it's like you don't get that kind of return on your 401k. Um,
Absolutely. See, that's
so,
the power of group economics.
exactly.
And we could probably talk for another hour about that.
Mhm.
But I do have something I want to ask you because you said you don't want to use the term serial entrepreneur, but basically you're multifaceted.
Right.
Now in entrepreneurship there's this thing. Now both of us are multifaceted, right? So we kind of understand it, but
Right.
there's this thing where they tell you like you can't be doing more than one thing, and I struggled with that for a while because I was torn. I talk a lot about financial stuff, but then I talk a lot about business stuff, but not just even business stuff, but even the marketing side of business stuff, because that's what my business is like foundationally, and it really had me like out here like not really living my purpose because I'm like, man, people need to see me doing all these different things, and really the part of it already was built around the marketing and stuff like that, but then there comes a space where you feel like you really want to give to, you think about every day. Now so how do you feel about that conversation? Because some people it might be they just need to do one thing, and then for others, there's countless conversations and stories where people, they feel like they have two different things that they want to give themselves to. Like, can you speak to that a little bit? Because you already know how it is.
Yeah. So here's what I've learned especially over the past couple of years. We have all come up with this term or been taught this term umbrella. Umbrella. Can I put this under the umbrella? And I hate that term because it gives people permission to throw a bunch of junk under the umbrella and there's no alignment. And that's really what multifaceted entrepreneurship is about. It's about alignment, right? So when I was running She Invest, I was running a nonprofit, I was running a consulting firm, I was running an investment firm, and then I was also teaching, and then I was also doing fractional work, which essentially is I was taking over the executive positions in organizations, but not really a part of the organization. Um, it would look crazy if I tried to make all of that Shantell Incorporated. And think about it, Joseph,
Right.
seriously, because that's what happens, right? We go, "Oh, this is all the same thing, and I'm just doing a bunch." No, those were all very separate business ventures that had separate, they were separate entities. They had separate EINs, they had separate bank accounts, they had separate back end operations. And what I was doing was just simultaneously running these multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
And it allowed me to kind of move in and out effortlessly instead of trying to be all the things all the time. And that's what happens to people. The term, we'll be like, they all over the place. No, they're trying to navigate 5 ships at one time. You cannot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You
Right.
gotta, some days I have to just be CEO of nonprofitability. I just have to navigate that business. I have to make sure clients' works is in the pipeline and that it's moving through. Some days I am just the executive director of Dress for Success. And I
Right.
make sure that our programs are being delivered and that my staff has what they need and that the money is coming in the door and et cetera, et cetera. Some days I'm just Professor Chambliss. I
Mm-hmm.
am just in the classroom. I am just grading papers. I am just mentoring students, right? Some days I can't do all the things every hour of every day. And that's why I don't like the term serial entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
It's permission to be messy.
Right.
Oh,
Oh.
she's running like 5 businesses. She ain't doing
Right.
it, not doing it
Right.
right. And so, we talk about wealth, and we talked about this at our seminars and the whole 7 streams of income. And people have taken that to mean 7 businesses. And that's what you see a
Right.
lot of people when they're trying to start 7 things so they can. Seven
Mm-hmm.
streams of income does not mean 7 businesses. Non-profitability, my consulting firm itself has 7 streams of income because I want that one thing to be able to make me a millionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we
Yep.
are on track to do that. That one business has 7 streams of income.
Yep.
Dress, dress my nonprofit, because we're gonna get into that conversation. My nonprofit has 7 streams of income. Y'all don't like to think that nonprofits have income, but we do.
Listen.
And we're profitable. And that one thing has 7 streams of income, right? I can't monetize my professor gig, like the pay. But
Right. Right.
what my hat as Professor Chambers has done has allowed me to brand myself as a subject matter expert.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone needs a subject matter expert on business communication, organizational communication, the psychology of communication in businesses, I am now a subject matter expert because that entity has made me a subject matter expert and
Right.
allowed me to go out and build capital on that.
Right. No, that's good. That's real good. Because I like what you said about that because I know just like you're saying, people are messy and
Mm.
they expect success to come from mess, right? That's a whole quote. But so
Put it on t-shirt, bro.
right,
Because
put it on a t-shirt, right? So because like one of the things like so just like you were talking about you, like for me, like the business side where it's like I'm doing work, right? Comes on like the marketing side.
hmm
With businesses, whether strategies, things like that, right? Social media managing, stuff like that, right? That's the work side where it's like, this is where I'm like really doing a lot of work. When it comes to the whole finance thing, it's not the same type of work at all. It's more of just me, my thoughts,
right,
videos, YouTube, putting out information, education, and in return, because of that, business happened because of that. But the
hmm
work it's just that. Like I don't. That's just me. Like this is what I'm thinking. Oh, I see this. What's happening? More so than like it's actual something I'm working on. The tandem comes is because people in business, and we know, especially our people, they make money, they blow money,
Ooh,
right? And I know you've probably seen like I've seen. I've watched people make millions. I've helped people make millions, and I've
hmm
helped and I've also watched them go broke behind their decisions, not
yep,
not understanding how to take care of their finances or take care of their businesses. We just had taxes, and there's somebody out there that IRS is hitting them over the head because they didn't take care of their stuff throughout the year. So that
right,
those things go hand in hand, right? But the function of it is just not the same at all. It's not even close to being the same.
no,
So it's a difference. But just like you said, but with each of them, they all have their own different streams because of the nature of it. And that's what sometimes some people don't like. You can scale a business and have it to have as many streams as you want underneath one business, right?
right,
Like
right,
so, finance, you might have one stream where it's partnerships, another stream where it's affiliates, another stream where it's just the content itself or some ebooks things that you don't have to put your hands to, whatever. You just build it down like that. And so no, I love that, right? We're not talking about messy entrepreneurship. We talking about keeping your stuff organized.
Right, and learning how to navigate, right? Instead of, like I said, you cannot navigate 5 ships at one time, but
No,
what you
no,
can do is you can manage this ship, and then once that ship is on autopilot, you go over here and get this thing on autopilot,
absolutely,
and you go back and forth. But that these entrepreneurs that I see who have 5 and 6 and 7 and 10 businesses, and one post is about this and the next post is about this, or one post is about 3 things, since nobody knows what you do.
right,
Nobody nobody knows what you do,
right,
right? People all the time go, "Shantell, you do a lot," but it's easy for y'all to know what I do.
and what I'm about, right?
Yeah, it's easy for
Yeah,
y'all. I do a lot, but it's easy for y'all to know. You can easily say Shantell is a consultant, she's a professor, she's a executive director, because I don't try to be all the things at one time. Nobody can understand it.
right. And another thing is you've also been consistent and you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
A
even
lot
when I
of people,
no money. Let me say, even when I wasn't making no money.
right.
I
So
mean,
that's a whole other thing. A lot of people they give this little time to things and they jump to the next thing, the next shiny object. So
yeah,
sometimes when I catch up with people I haven't talked to in a while, they're like, "So what you doing?" Like it's
the
pretty
same
much
thing.
still the same thing. I have not. I'm doing the same thing. I just might have evolved a little bit more, but
Yeah,
it's I'm still on the same path. That's my path. But it's
yeah.
I don't have a new shiny object for you.
Yeah, no, I don't do shiny object syndrome. I've been a consultant for 21 years. Like I
Listen,
just and I may have pivoted. At the beginning of my career, my consulting focus was HR management. It was helping organizations with the back end of their HR function. And it evolved because my career just evolved. I moved away from human resources. It wasn't bringing me the same joy. But essentially, I still go into organizations and make sure that they are operating effectively. I just do
mm,
it now with nonprofits, and I still help with their HR function. I've just broadened, I've evolved, like you said, and it's like entrepreneurship has become this go-to for instant gratification. And all
hmm
I can tell you is it ain't none here. There ain't none. Ain't no instant gratification in this. It's
right,
none. There is no instant gratification in entrepreneurship. And that's why you see so many businesses fail at the rate that they do. It's not because the money wasn't there. It's not because the customers weren't there. It's because someone came into a business thinking that they would make money on day one, that they would be profitable on day one, that they would hit 6 figures in year one, and when it didn't happen, they walked away and went
they
to
gave
something.
up. Right,
And that is really a big majority of the reason why businesses fail, not because money or clients aren't available.
right. They want that ease. It's just like we talk about investing. Number one question I get is, so when would I make money? And it's like, if you're trading, that's one thing, but there's rules to that. But even with that, there's a process. But when you're
Mhm.
investing, no, it's not about getting rich quick. That's the wrong mentality. And
Yeah.
so because of that, it puts people in these positions where they're constantly having to start from zero, or
Or
either
or
they're
feel
not
like,
really
or they wanna say things don't work, right? We had women
right,
come in to invest in 2016 who by, 2017, they were like, "Well, when am I gonna get a check, a dividend check?" And I'm
right.
like, "We reinvest the dividends," right? And we told them this upfront. We reinvest the dividends so that when we cash
hmm
out, we come in for the big payback, right? I don't want
Absolutely.
I don't want no 6 cent check every
Right.
month.
Right.
Stack those, right?
Right. Exactly. Like you
Yeah.
exactly like the wealthiest people in the world now, and it's documented. No matter what people say, the wealthiest people in this world, especially during the pandemic, they've made 6 times as much as everybody else in the world. And they didn't make it off of new investments, they made it off of old investments
Yeah.
because they had been invested in certain things, especially in the stock market in particular, for a while. And they have
Mhm.
just kept adding to those investments. And so when things started to change and things kept growing and things kept, how things evolved during the pandemic, some things fell off, their wealth kept growing because of the history and the consistency of their old investments that they've owned for some time.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people want that quick fix to an issue, and it's like, no, you got to go through a little bit. And I know TikTok can blow you up, but even through that process, sometimes people don't realize even with that process, there still has a time of patience, a time
Mhm.
of developing, And a lot of people that you see that blow up, you don't necessarily blow up overnight. They've been posting for a while. You
Yeah,
just now see them, and you're just like, oh wow, they doing. But you didn't see them when they weren't getting any views. So
absolutely.
one of those things. Now with all of that happening, with all the things you got going on, how
Mhm.
are you balancing that as a mom, as a wife? You just rolled your eyes. So we about.
Actually, I saw a friend of mine shared a post this morning on Facebook, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And it's so true. When I am killing it as a wife and a mom, I feel like I'm slacking as a businesswoman, right? But when I'm killing it as a businesswoman, I feel like I'm slacking as a mom and a wife. And it's like you have to get up every day and try to figure out how to kill both, right? And you're gonna fall short on those. Like, as a matter of fact, Wednesday is my long days. I drop my daughter off at daycare. I'm not going to see her again today. Well, by the time I get back tonight, she's going to be asleep. These are the days where I'm gonna be productive as heck today, right? But then these are the days where the mom guilt kicks in, because literally I'm not gonna see her awake again today. I won't. She won't see mommy's face again until tomorrow. I won't cook dinner tonight. I won't give her a bath tonight. So these are those days. So I'm trying not to even seek balance anymore. And I was at a women's conference a couple of weeks ago and we talked about this. I'm really just trying to learn how to integrate. I'm trying to learn how to make my daughter a part of my work days and make my work days a part of my daughter's life. If that means when she's in gymnastics on Saturday mornings, I got my laptop and for that 45 minutes I can knock out some things. Um, or when she comes home in the evening, she gets my 100% attention until she falls asleep. And if when she falls asleep, there's something that has to be done, then I come back downstairs to the office and do it. So you got to just, it's not even a balance anymore. It's really an integration and learning how to make all these things flow together. Because if I try to be the best mom, I'm probably not going to be the best boss. And if I try to be the best boss, I'm probably not going to be, and I'm not going to say the best mom. I'm not going to be the mom I want to be. I want to be a very present mother. I want her to know, I'm all about her. And so I'm just trying to learn how to kind of integrate these things.
No, I think that's good. Because I know, like what you said, when people say I'm trying to find balance, I know we talked about it before. I don't really think like that, like, or trying to find balance. Because, like you're saying, there's times where you're going to be unbalanced.
Yeah.
You're going to be more of a boss than a parent sometimes, depending on the situation, and vice versa. As long as you communicate with your kids, that
Yeah.
helps a lot. Then they understand.
Yeah.
The way my schedule is, like my alarm goes off at like 4:35 in the morning. Um, and kids start school or got to be at school around, well, they leave out of the house starting around 7:45. So
Mhm.
up until 7, that's kind of where I try to do certain things myself, whether it's pray, meditate, whether it's workout, things like that. um, Try to. It ain't perfect all the time,
Absolutely.
but then I take a break from that for like an hour and some change. Then I come back to sit down to do some work. And but when they get home from school, and they come home buzzing and all that stuff, it ain't but so much work I'm getting done.
It's not. And
So we just let
why
that go.
right. And that's what I had to learn. My baby's only 2, so I'm still new to this, right?
Mm,
But I learned I used to do that. I used to try to, like, pick her up from daycare and work while she play. They don't want that. She
mm,
wants to talk to me. She's, "Mommy, you wanna play with me?" And I'm just not gonna tell her no. I'm not,
right. Yeah,
right?
because I got about, listen, I got that time until they get to school. I got to be on it because when they
Yeah.
get home, they all have like 33,000 questions, or they all got 33,000
Of
things that they want
course.
to do. Like, can we go to hold on, man, hold on, just hold on, y'all, hold on. But that's what it is, and I've just learned to accept. Like, so many people struggle with that parenting thing and
Mhm.
business entrepreneurs when they're busy. Um, and sometimes I get that question, well, how in the world are you doing it? Because at one point it was me and one kid, because I got laid off as an engineer all them years ago. Me and one kid, me and 2 kids, because my wife ended up going back to work. Now I'm building a business. Me and 3 kids. COVID happened. She's like, I'm done. I'm doing what I do home with all those different things, trainings, working contracts from home, working her business. So she's at home, and so people's like, well, how did you do that? I learned to accept it. I learned to accept the fact that yes, I'm a dad with one kid, with two, three, four kids. I learned to accept it and embrace that, and not make that seem like it's keeping me from something, and just learn to adjust my schedule. So that also means I learned to adjust my relationships and the time that I give to people outside of my home, and things that just really is trivial. You don't really need to give myself time for that. I'm sorry, I won't be able to make this. I love you. Hey, my phone stays on do not disturb.
Mine too.
During COVID, I learned during COVID, I used to keep it on for a certain period of time. During COVID, stays on do not disturb. It's not being funny. I don't hear the distractions. I don't hear my phone ring. Unless it's family. I don't get the notifications because I get messages everywhere. So you just learn to put different things in place, and hold those boundaries to the world, so you
Yep.
can handle the things you need to handle, and then be okay with the fact that I might not chop the tree down today, but if I work at it for 5 days, I get
Yeah,
there.
I'll get
So
there.
yeah, because that,
Yeah,
because
look,
that
kids will chill you out real quick. Kids will
real
let you know you ain't gonna get it all done today.
pretty
I,
much
before kids, me not get something accomplished in a day, in an hour, please, sh- they will humble you.
they will. Yeah, like what we talked about before we started recording. Like I told you about what happened yesterday. We had all them back to back events.
I
My
was
day done.
in the door from dropping her off because we were running late this morning because I
Right.
stayed a little too late last night, and she now knows how to work the remote. So she woke up and was watching Gabby's Dollhouse instead of saying, "Mommy, get up." And so when it was time to go live, I was skating in the door, and that's fine.
It's
We made
perfectly fine.
it happen. I'm
It's
still on.
perfectly fine. Right. 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 So now after that, but I know we talked a little bit about the nonprofit because you alluded to it a little bit about how your nonprofit has 7 streams of income. Now, one of my clients is a nonprofit, and I know how much they do, and it's insane how much they do. Now, can you just speak to that a little bit? Because sometimes people, when they think nonprofit, they think broke.
Yeah,
And
they
I know
think
you go through this with all your clients and your students too, like getting them out of that mindset. We're not talking about where you're taking money and buying a whole bunch of houses. We're talking about where your business is being able to profit. Like, can you just talk a little bit about that?
so. Nonprofit is such a misnomer, right? The
Hmm.
formal name is not for profit.
Right.
It, we just in our American culture we have made that one small word in nonprofit. The formal name of a tax exempt organization is not for profit, meaning what we don't do specifically for profit. It does not mean we don't want profit, we don't enjoy profit, we don't seek profit. It doesn't mean any of those things. It essentially means that profit is not the mission. The mission is typically to alleviate some type of suffering or close some type of gap or subsidize some costs or provide access to those who don't have access. That's essentially what that means, that we don't do this for profit. So I said earlier, my nonprofit has 7 streams of income. We have individual donors, corporate donors, foundation donors, board donors, special events. Um, we sell items. And I can go on. It's actually probably more than 7. But when we bring in those funds, it's not to pad Shantell's pocket. It's not to give my staff huge bonuses. It is to continue to provide services to alleviate suffering in a community, right? And that money does pay salaries. That money does cover benefits. That money does pay rent. That money, does pay for utilities and software and all of the things that we need in order to continue to provide that service. It does not mean that a group of people has come together and decided, well, we just gonna be broke. We ain't gonna make no money, but we gonna pull magic out the air and go serve the community. And I don't know where people have gotten this misinformation from. Nonprofit is really not for profit, meaning we don't do this for the profit, but we're still seeking the profit. We're still enjoying the profit, and we're still and we're still making money. Um, I've been running Dress for Success Central Virginia for 12 years. 12. I absolutely could not do that with $0 in the bank. And like a couple of weeks ago, somebody posted a joke and was like, "Oh, a bunch of people sitting around talking sounds like sitting around talking and not making no money sounds like a nonprofit." Not no nonprofit that I've ever been a part of. And in my years of consult, I've been running a nonprofit for 12. I've been exclusively consulting nonprofits for 7. I don't know no nonprofits that are sitting around not making no money. You all have been miseducated to believe that nonprofits don't have money and don't deserve money. And neither of those things are true.
Wow. Well, that was a whole entire answer in an answer. So no, I think it's great, especially in today's society, because you know things. I guess for me, it is we've been in business long enough to see the difference. There's one place where, say, like making money, for example, was difficult. We're in a time now where it seems a little bit easier.
Mhm.
Like, so even with whether it's business or a nonprofit, would you think that being able to generate funds and make money is easier now, especially with online and the way things are moving?
If you are willing to be consistent, to be constant, to be
Oh,
credible,
mm,
right? Because that's the thing. We are also, whereas we are living in a society where we have easy access to things and social media sends communication so quickly, it also gives people a veil to operate behind,
mm,
right? We all following these coaches that's talking about, I'm gonna teach you how to make 7 figures, and they ain't never made 5, right? In their business. And I don't care. I mean, the truth is the truth. Well, the truth.
right. You,
I cannot teach someone, like I will tell people all day, yes, I can teach you how to get your nonprofit to 6 figures because I've done that.
hmm
When I get mine to 7 figures, then I'll teach y'all how to get to 7 figures.
right.
Give me another year or two. When I get
hmm
to 7 figures, I'll teach y'all how to do that too. But you got coaches out here, consultants out here saying, let me teach you how to get to 6 when they haven't touched 5.
Right.
And so then that throws some mud in the water, right? Yes, it is easier to make money now than it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, right? I make money faster, more consistently than I did 5 years ago because of my access to technology, because of social media, because of how we send and receive information now versus how we did 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you and I probably would have had to be sitting in a room together to record this.
hmm
We are literally about 35 miles apart from each other, right?
Literally.
So things have changed and made it easier, but it's also made it easier for people to muddy the water. So, in order to take advantage of the ease and the access that we all have now, you got to be willing to be consistent. You got to show up as your authentic self. You got to be credible, and you got to be in it for the money, but not be in it for the money. I think everybody at some level of their business should be acting as a not for profit. Because if you only doing it for the money, it ain't gonna go but so far.
Now see, we got a schedule, and you trying to make this conversation go longer.
I'm not.
Cause
Not.
listen, listen,
Because
listen.
I got another meeting too. We got things.
Listen. I know we both got. Listen, see, that's the thing. Like people are always like we just talked about that quick gratification.
Right.
People are like, man. So how can I, what can I do to get this now? And what can I do? And it's like when you really are trying to give and serve, you have to come with that mindset. Like or like one of the people, I don't want to give away all my secrets. Like no, give it away. People still will pay you for things in a lump, sum, especially if you don't like a course or a book, whatever the case is. But learn to give more than you are trying to take. See, and so when you're trying to take so much, a lot of times you devalue your information because the only thing you're thinking about is I just need to sell versus just giving and serving and through that process, yeah, it comes back around because people trust you. They're like, man, they're really giving out the gems over here. Like it will come back around and be a blessing to you.
Yeah, and like you said, the most important thing: learn to give and not just take. Because when you just take, And I've had people do this to me. I've had people take my process for doing something and go try to package it and sell it
Oh my God.
there. You, I know it did happen to you too. But and then what we want to know what's funny, where God gets the final laugh. They go take my stuff, go try to do it, mess somebody's stuff up, and then that person has to come back to me and fix it. So you just made me some more money. You
Hmm.
just helped me get paid twice because
Yeah.
instead of giving and saying, Chantal, I'd love to assist you. I would love to serve you. I would love to work under you and learn these things because this is what I want to do. You attempted to just take, right? Because I'll give it away. I'll tell you exactly how I do what I do.
Yep.
I'll give it
Yep.
away.
Yep.
So that's
See
you know,
that, and that's a whole nother thing in itself, where people take your stuff and try to profit off of it, and you know, or even act like they don't even know you no more. You know, but no, like for real, that's one of the things a lot of people don't understand in giving. Like so, with today's society around entrepreneurship and business, the power of online, whether you like it or you don't, like the ease of being able to use your platform to serve somebody else, to serve others, can easily enhance your business dramatically. Like when COVID happened, one of the other reasons why I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I got hit up so much when COVID happened by so many nonprofits, church
mhm,
organizations, companies where people that just said online is not, we don't care about that.
right.
And then COVID happens, and the only thing you have is online. Like
Yep.
every day I was being hit up from, and it was just too much to. So I was like, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and we're gonna have to address this in some group settings.
Yeah.
But because they didn't think it was important, but the power of the online and everything it has, you can use your platform to really help, and because you're helping others, in turn, that's how you're able to see. A lot of times, people don't know what they're seeing. When they see people like going up,
Mhm.
they don't realize what you're seeing is you're seeing them serve more,
Yep.
show up every day. Just show up every day for the people. You
Yep.
want to go viral on TikTok and Instagram? Just show up for the people. Just add some consistency, some distance, some discipline, and show up for people. Because the way business is going, the way things have happened, and especially for like the black female entrepreneur, like you're the most dominant group that's really making things happen in the last like what 3 4 years when it
Yeah.
comes to concerns business.
COVID was it was like the Black women entrepreneur renaissance. It was. Tell me I'm wrong. In the past 3 years, you have seen more Black women millionaires than you ever have, at least
That is
in
true.
our generation, right? Because Black women are survivors, we're innovators. And so when a pandemic, what? Please. I've made more money since COVID than I have in the past 10 years of my career
Ain't that crazy?
because
Ain't that crazy?
we're survivors and we're innovators, and no one can outdo us when it comes to surviving crisis
Right.
and innovating, right? And making the most of what we have, even when it isn't what we want.
Right. Man, COVID, I don't even, it don't even feel like that we even spent money during COVID. Because COVID was so crazy. It was because people, like what you said, like it's insane how COVID, and of course that trend has continued to just continue to keep growing and growing and growing because of just how things are.
Yep.
And so now we're starting to see things evolve in business, like over the next few years or now. Like if people haven't been paying attention, there's been so much happening. People think AI just came out of nowhere. No, it's just you weren't paying attention. And
Yep.
now these programs weren't created overnight. They've been working on it for years. And so
Yep.
now you see these things starting to evolve. So where do you see the entrepreneur in the next couple of years? Well, if you had to give someone a few tips or some advice over the next 2 years, because we're in what you call a shift, right? Most people don't understand that. Like it's not just the economy changing, we're shifting. Wealth is shifting, the way we do things is shifting, the price of what we pay for different things is shifting. You're not going to see eggs be 99 cents again unless
Ever.
you sell them yourself. So everything's shifting. So with that, like, what do you think for the entrepreneur business owner? Like, how can they, take advantage of the shift over the next couple of years?
So I never give anyone advice that I don't give myself.
Mm-hmm.
So here's essentially my daily motto, how I am growing my businesses, how I'm evolving my businesses. And it's three things: automate, delegate, innovate. That is, I'm trying to work. Like y'all know the book, The 12-Hour Work Week or 4-Hour Work Week. It's 12-week year and then the 4-hour work week, right? I haven't read them in years. I'm trying to be that entrepreneur. I'm trying to be the 4-hour, I'm trying to work a 4-hour week by through automation, delegation, and innovation. I'm currently in a business mastermind where I am working to create another revenue stream in my consultancy. But it's not just creating another revenue stream, it's really going to innovate consulting, traditional consulting through automation, right? Um, and it's probably a 3 to 5 year project. But by the time we get to the end of it, one will be a 7-figure firm. I'll be working 4 weeks, 4 hours a week, maybe. And I'll have a full team who will take the task off my desk now that take up a majority of my time. So that's all I'm doing. I'm automating, I'm delegating, I'm innovating. I'm trying to get to the point where I check emails once a day. That's going to be through automation. When my clients email, if their emails have a certain keyword, then they will get this auto response that will answer their questions. So my customers will still be served. Um, and that's really to take advantage of all the things that are coming down the pipeline. You cannot be a one woman show or a one man show. You can't still be the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the program director, the janitor, the admin. You can't still be all the things, right? You really do have to build a team. And that may look like sacrificing your profit for a year, right?
Right.
Maybe my bottom line may be a little lower, but that's my 3 to 5 year plan. Is automation of everything.
Right.
Delegate anything. Anything that does not have to be done by me is delegated, and to continuously and consistently innovate to make my products and my services cutting edge, unique, and make sure I'm like staying ahead of my clients' issues. I'm doing the
Right.
research. I don't read um, I don't read a lot of books anymore. I'm reading a lot of books about my clients' issues and their problems and trying to figure out ways to solve them before they even have them. So if you want to get ahead over the next 5 years, especially with, the way our world is changing and the fact that pandemics aren't going to come every 100 years anymore. Not. There was
We don't.
100 years between COVID and the Spanish influenza. That won't happen again. Another pandemic will likely happen in our lifetime.
It feel like we done been through 3 pandemics in 3 years.
Yeah,
What
we
we
little mini ones.
because what we in Jumanji 4 and Revelation chapter what 3? Like we ain't doing all of that at the same time. Like I know you see what's happening online and out here in the world is a lot. So
Absolutely. So yes, you're not gonna have 100 years to get ready for the next pandemic.
no.
So you better stay ahead of the curve.
No, and that's powerful. So instead of being, it's something my wife will tell you. I say all the time. Instead of being reactive, we have to be proactive. I get a little bit of anxiety and get frustrated in reactive situations because I don't like being reactive. I like
Yeah,
let's think. Let's go ahead. Let's think ahead. Doesn't mean we escape the now, but let's just think ahead and be proactive. And especially the way things are, a lot of people have been talking about like AI and all the jobs that are going to be lost.
right.
Well, that's been talked about for a while, but also with the AI and the automation, there's a way to use it to your benefit because
Yeah,
that's just where we're going. The virtual world is, I know you don't hear a lot about the metaverse and the virtual world. When you're not hearing about things, that's when it's growing the
yeah,
most. And there's
yeah.
no hype around it. When you think it's dead, that's when it's growing the most. There's nothing you to change it. So I think it's absolutely powerful, everything you said. So but I know we gotta get up out of here. So just tell the people what programs you got going on. Of course, y'all know the deal. I put the information, below for y'all to get it. Just let the people know what's going on.
Primarily, so if you are a nonprofit or if starting a nonprofit is part of your goals for the next year, Nonprofitability does offer a service where we will take care of all of that for you. We'll get you completely started. That is our signature program. If you are already running a nonprofit and you are not meeting your goals, we offer a couple levels of consultation for you. One being our VIP strategy intensive, where we will work one on one with you to create a plan to help you achieve those goals. Um, and then, of course, you always can have a one on one with me to just talk through what your goals are. If you don't know, right, you can absolutely go to my website and schedule some one on one time with me to talk about your goals, whether it be nonprofit, wealth building, how to communicate better in your organization, any of those things.
Well, there you have it, guys. Once again, definitely want to thank my sis for coming on. We've known each other for a very long time,
Yeah.
and it's definitely an honor to have you on. But all right, guys, y'all have a good one. Share this if you like it. Peace.